Okay guys, first attempt at tapping a tree for maple syrup. With all my research, it said the best thing to do is start around waist high. At southern exposure is best, but if you're going to do this years and years to come, you might want to work around the tree so you don't stress it out too much one point. So you get a 5/16 drill bit to put the spigot in. And just put it here, a little upward angle. That should be plenty. You want to see the white wood coming out of the hole. And just take your little spigot and see how easy this goes in. And just tap it in gently. So that's not going anywhere. You got the little hook here to hold the bucket in place. Put the bucket in there, and hopefully sap starts going. There's a lid to go on top, and the lid is to keep the snow and rain and everything out of it. That just goes here. Get in there. Slide it on through. And voila, first one down. Now a tree this size can take 2 buckets. So you want a tree to be 10 to 12 inches to take 1 bucket. If you're over 20 inches, you can take 2 buckets. If it's over 23 inches, you can take 3 buckets. So this tree will do 2 buckets. So I will put on another bucket here. But that's it for now. We got 20 buckets in total to do. And we'll see how the process goes. Okay. Okay, next step, I've collected after 4 days, I've collected just over 50 liters of sap. It's all right here. So we've got the burner going over here. We're just going to start the process. Unfortunately, if I understand correctly, 50 liters is going to give me just over 1 liter. 1 1/4 liters of syrup at the end, but we will see. I've got this strainer to catch any of the extra bits that might have fallen in the pot. Vanna, if you can put the pot on. Now rather than pouring it all in at once, I'm only filling it up a few inches, get that to a boil, then I'll add to it. Because according to some of the old gents I've talked to, it's easier to getting a rolling boil with a few inches, then add a couple more inches and so on. So that's what we're doing. And that's it for now. We'll let you know how it turns out in a little while. It looks like water in there. So this pot will get filled up probably about 4 times. That's a lot of boiling. The syrup, it's not boiling yet. It's only been a couple minutes. So, let's check this out. No, it's still not boiling. It's starting to get bubbles at the bottom though, so shouldn't be too much longer. Okay, we got a good boil going here.
Not that you can really see with this.
We're trying to add some more sap. And we'll add a little bit more once it gets boiling again. So, might be a long process, but that's what we got. the beginning of March we tapped about a dozen trees. Some of the trees were big enough to take 2 buckets, so we've got 20 buckets out on the trees. And once we collect the sap, we pour it into these buckets or bottles, and I've got a dozen of these. And in no time, in a day or two, we can fill up a dozen of these. I usually collect about 200 liters before we start the boiling process. So I get a bunch of these, and then we come over, got 3 burners going, and we pour them into the big propane tanks. Now it's not the most economical way of using the propane tanks, but we get that all boiling down. And what I try to do is take it from the big pots to the small pot over there, and then once that reaches 103 degrees Celsius, then I turn it down. I let it cool all the way down to 90 degrees Celsius. So we're at 88 degrees now, cooling down. We boiled it up to 103.3. Take this out and we're going to pour it through the filters. It's a double filter system. I'll pour it through this one. Once I pour this all the way through, it's coming all the way through both and into the pan now. Yeah, it's a little burnt on the bottom. So we'll pick this one up and let it... You can lower yours, Nance.
Do you need your spoons?
I will soon. I'm just going to squeeze it all out. It's still quite hot, so you don't want to touch the syrup. So you can see the one bag just filtering into the other bag, and it catches all the sediment. Just gotta help it through. It smells delicious. Got a good batch here.
Looks delicious.
Yeah, it's really rich color.
That should be good.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, here we got a little taste test coming here. Little in the spoon, still warm. Nectar of the gods. Perfect. Cheers.